The famous piano maker continues to be committed to providing products that span the whole range of prices and features with their follow-up to the popular P-45. The P-series of digital pianos from Yamaha seeks to replicate the sound and physical reaction of an acoustic piano with a small footprint. This strategy has proven to be quite popular with players who are concerned about their available space. The P-145 performs well as Yamaha's entry-level P-series model, which is specifically designed for novices. Similar to the preceding P-45, Yamaha's goal with this instrument is to create a no-frills digital piano with the bare minimum of features and a laser focus on playability and affordability. For the most part, Yamaha has achieved this goal, with the exception of a few strange design decisions that we'll discuss later. The P-145 and its predecessor vary most noticeably in size. Yamaha has managed to trim an astonishing 60 mm and 400 grams off an already tiny design, resulting in an extraordinarily efficient form factor for this model. The Graded Hammer Compact Keybed, which replaces the Graded Hammer Standard keybed featured in the P-45, is the primary reason for the overall size reduction. Along with the piano itself, you also receive an AC power supply, an attachable music rest, and a footswitch sustain pedal, so you have everything you need to get started. Yamaha furthermore provides the LP5A pedal unit, which seamlessly complements their L100 keyboard stand, to increase the P-145's capabilities. The P-145's shell is equally as durable and dependable as the P-45's, and despite its more streamlined design, it will probably continue to withstand everyday usage for many years to come. The P-145's primary asset is convenience, and there isn't much physical room for improvement. Owning an acoustic piano by contrast seems like a Kafkaesque nightmare because of how easy it is to move the instrument across rooms or residences because to its lightweight yet durable casing. Yamaha seems committed to portraying the P-145 as a really portable instrument when it comes to live performances. Although that may be relatively accurate, it's still a touch too hefty and cumbersome to be competing with guitarists. Nevertheless, it's important to note that the P-145 weighs less than its rivals. For example, the famous Casio S1000 weighs 11.2 kilograms, while other stage pianos for professionals like the Nord Stage 4 and Yamaha CP88 weigh 18 kilograms. With the exception of its slimmer new body, the P-145's design is almost identical to that of its forerunner, with a clear preference for functionality above aesthetics. We regret to inform you that this instrument's visual appeal is really lackluster. Even if individuals searching for a basic digital piano are unlikely to have a problem with this, it wouldn't hurt to give the design a little individuality, something acoustic pianos excel at doing. As we briefly mentioned before, Yamaha has updated the P-45's Graded Hammer Standard weighted keybed with a new Graded Hammer Compact variant. As the name would imply, the primary difference is size. That shouldn't be seen as a criticism on the P-145, however, since the previous keybed on which it is based was already exceptional for the money. For those without musical training, the term graded describes the nonlinear reaction of the keyboard of an acoustic piano, with lower notes acting somewhat differently from higher registers. It's a minute distinction that doesn't stand out right away but makes the instrument sound more realistic. The GHS keybed of the P-45's P-145 is identical to it in terms of responsiveness and weight in this respect. Every time a key is pressed on an acoustic piano, a complicated chain reaction of mechanical movement is put in motion, and Yamaha's GHC keybed in the P-145 is another outstanding effort to capture that experience. The glossy surface of the white keys is one small issue that has persisted from the P-45. The keys may get slippery when moving quickly because of its glossy, smooth surface. Spending a lot of time on this specific keyboard may help with this problem, but for those who use it less often, it may take some getting accustomed to. Everything we've spoken about up until this point is essentially meaningless if an instrument can't produce high-quality audio, and for the most part, the P-145 performs well in this regard. Given the keyboard's modest size, the integrated speakers are notably amazing for their weight and strength. To maximize the use of the built-in speakers, Yamaha has incorporated a feature they call Sound Boost. After poring through the documentation, it looks to be a straightforward gain increase combined with some psychoacoustic trickery, and it works quite well. This function is notably beneficial for piano sounds, since the maximum loudness approaches that of an acoustic piano while simultaneously seeming to increase the dynamic range. For any setting where disturbing others isn't a concern, we advise leaving this option turned on. The 1/4 headphone output jack enables private practice. A 3.5mm connector, however, could have been a preferable option for an instrument that is so strongly aimed toward novices in order to prevent anybody without studio headphones from having to buy an adapter. Having said that, we do get Yamaha's desire for you to hear the piano in its entirety. To that end, a fantastic pair of digital piano headphones will be provided with the bigger jack. Using the single function button and a combination of keystrokes, the P-145's 10 featured sounds, an integrated metronome, and some other global settings, may all be chosen. It works well, but given the limited number of noises, we're not sure why each one couldn't have had its own button. This would help provide some depth to the front panel's absolutely minimalist design. The rear panel supports a sustained pedal or the aforementioned LP5A pedal unit, the latter of which notably enables for half pedaling, in addition to the headphone output, which serves as a line-out for live performance. The introduction of the LP5A input here gives a fantastic value alternative for the price-conscious user who requires a realistic complement of pedals since it was previously only included on the more costly P-125. Now let's examine the noises directly. The two featured grand piano models are accurate and consistent with a respectable degree of realism. They are taken from Yamaha's full-size concert Grand CFIIIS. Players hoping for a digital piano specifically suited to more dramatic and subtle content may be dissatisfied with what is offered here since the sounds don't react very expressively to velocity. When analyzing a beginner-focused instrument at this price range, it's crucial to maintain perspective. In that sense, the P-145 provides sufficient coverage of the piano's acoustic space to be absolutely suitable for musicians just starting out. The only other issue we have with these two pianos is how similar their tones and timbres are. It may have been wiser to provide a full-spectrum grand with a softer piano that would be more suited for pop and folk genres. The first electric piano, which is without a doubt based on a Fender Rhodes, is unquestionably the finest of the other 8 sounds and a very respectable imitation, albeit it is in no way a realistic substitute for the real thing. The upper registers, when it starts to sound less Rhodes and more ice cream van, are especially unconvincing. The second electric piano in the P-145 is a blatant homage to the 80s, sounding a lot like a preset on Yamaha's iconic digital synthesizer, the DX7, which dominated the sound of 80s music. Although it's a lot of fun to play and would be appropriate in contemporary plays, we were unable to think of any other use for it than pure parody. The twin pipe organs follow, and they have an unexpected amount of personality. While the second organ has the loud and present tone of a all stops out organ, the first organ has a more muted tone that is best suited for subtler material. With these sounds, playing high figures and flourishes is very enjoyable, but they have one significant drawback: they don't react to velocity, making dynamics impossible in the absence of an expression pedal input. The final 2 keyboard instruments in the P-145 sound library are an accordion and a harpsichord. The harpsichord is suitable, to be honest. Even with the most basic material, the upper octaves are distractingly plasticky, and the sound is not very convincing, but it is clear that this is not the sound for which the P-145 is being purchased. The accordion is surprisingly decent, has a beautiful tonal balance, and could probably pass like the genuine thing in an ensemble. The P-145's last 2 sounds are string ensemble and imitations of the dizi, a bamboo flute popular in China. Sadly, this is the point at which the quality truly deteriorates. We couldn't conceive of a single instance when the dizi might be beneficial since it is so awful to listen to. The addition of the DZ is particularly perplexing because it takes the place of the P-45's perfectly serviceable vibraphone sound, which also more organically corresponds to an 88-key piano keyboard. Although it might be claimed that most users won't often require these sounds, the string ensemble meets a similar demise for the same reasons, which raises the issue of why Yamaha bothered to add them at all. They should have spent that time on the piano emulation, one of the greatest Yamaha digital pianos and one of the most widely used beginning pianos on the market was the P-45 from Yamaha. It was sturdy, small, and provided players with an authentic feeling instrument at an incredible value. The most recent model adheres to the same rules as the previous one but manages to reduce it in size even more, making it more portable and easy to move about. It's fair to say that not every sound appealed to us. The basic piano tones were more than enough in our opinion, but beyond that, there wasn't much to get excited about. If it seems like we're being a bit harsh on the P-145, it's because it does a lot of things well. With a few minor adjustments, Yamaha's entry-level P-Series digital piano might become the gold standard for beginning students. For the most part, novices will be satisfied with the P-145's current capabilities since it is reliable even though sometimes uninspired. So guys, this was our review of Yamaha P-145. We hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one.